cooking up a breakfast today. Now I'm actually going to be cooking a full English breakfast, also referred to as fry-up, but I kind of prefer full English breakfast. Now I've got some of the ingredients that are usually offered to you when you have a full English breakfast. I mean, the only thing that's missing here is maybe hash brownies. You know, some people might include those, but I'm just going to run you through the ingredients we've got here. I've got some nice sort of pork sausages, then we've got some black pudding, nice thick slices of bacon there, got some tomatoes, slice those in half and we're going to fry those up. Then we've got some baked beans, also you've got some mushrooms, going to fry the mushrooms up, and we've got some eggs. You can either have that scrambled or I'm going to do mine fried. Also you can have a bit of toast with it, or alternatively you can actually have fried bread. Now with the ingredients I've got here, they do take slightly different amounts of time to cook. Now the sausage is going to take the longest. They're going to take about 15 minutes and I'm going to put them under a medium grill. Now also I'm going to be grilling this bacon. I've got thick cut bacon. This will probably take about 5 or 6 minutes, and again I'm going to be grilling those, but really what you need to do is wait for the sausages for about 10 minutes and then you pop these under the grill, so it kind of, you know, all finishes at the same time. Now the other ingredients I've got here, I've got some black pudding, tomatoes, and we've got the mushrooms. Now I'm going to be frying those in a little bit of oil in the frying pan, I'd say for about 6 to 8 minutes. So really you want to put those on just before you put your bacon on. The other things we've got to cook, I've got some baked beans, put them in a pan there, just put them on a low heat, warm them through, probably won't take more than a few minutes or so. And we've got some eggs. Now with the eggs, I'm going to be frying mine, so a couple of minutes they take, so really do the eggs, the fried eggs, at the very end almost. Now I've got some bread in the background there. You can either toast it up, a little bit of butter, or otherwise you can put it in the frying pan, and all those juices that have come from the black pudding, the tomatoes and the mushrooms, you can kind of soak it up in that bread, and it's called fried bread. Get a nice golden colour on it, beautiful. Now the first thing I'm going to get prepared is the actual pan here where we're going to put the sausages and eventually the bacon. Now what I'm going to do is, you don't have to do this, but I've just made up a little sort of tin foil thing, because to be honest with you, it just cuts down on the sort of messing about and the washing up stage, so I can just throw the tin foil away and you've got a fairly clean pan. Now I'm just going to put, get some out, whoops, I think I put far too much oil there, so just get it on a bit of tissue. Didn't mean to put that amount in, just sort of came out. Anyway, that's fine, it's just a little bit, stop it sticking really. I'm then just going to lay the sausages like that. So I've got the sausages there, and we can put those under the grill now. Medium grill. In total the sausages about 15 minutes. And turn them over occasionally so they're brown all over. Now I've been cooking the sausages for about 6 minutes. So there's about 8 minutes left. Now I'm just going to pop in, I'm actually going to use a bit of olive oil. I think it adds a nice little flavour. Otherwise you can use sunflower oil, whatever you like. So I'm just going to let that heat up a little bit, and then we're going to put in the actual mushrooms, and then we're going to put the black pudding, and finally the tomatoes. So I'm just going to pop in the mushrooms, quick shake around, and give those a flip over if you need to, and then I'm just going to squeeze a little place there. You have to sort of squeeze this in. I suppose ideally a bigger pan would have been better. We just turn the mushrooms around. That's it. So just turn those mushrooms around. Try and get them all a little bit coated with that oil. I mean, obviously, you know, it depends how you like them cooked, but I just want them slightly brown. As I say, really, a slightly bigger pan would have been better, because I've also got to put the tomatoes in there as well. So we might have to just squeeze this along. Just turn the heat up a little bit. And with the black pudding, I'm just going to flip it over so it starts to darken up in colour. Lovely taste. And also, again, just squish those around a little bit. Now I'm going to try and squeeze these tomatoes in. Just pop those in there. I normally put the skin side down first. I might be able to just squeeze one there. Squeeze it there. And so keep the heat up, make sure it's all cooking nice. Now, because we've only got about sort of 4 or 5 minutes left, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the bacon in and turn the sausages over. So I've just pulled the sausages out, and you can see a little bit browning up. And what we do is flip those over. You can use a fork, but try not to pierce them. Just turn those over like that. Nice. And get the bacon. Again, just try and squeeze these in. Nice big bits of bacon, these. Just move those across. And as I say, put those under the grill for about another 5 or 6 minutes. Now that I've got the bacon on with the sausages, as I say, about 5 minutes, I'm just going to pop on a low heat the baked beans. Give them a gentle stir now and again. Now also, I'm just going to turn over this black pudding again. Be gentle with it, don't want to kind of break it. And I'm just going to turn those over, and also turn the mushrooms round, and also the tomatoes. Give those a turn over as well, just to start getting some of those flavours on it all. Carry on cooking that. As I say, not very long left, about sort of 4 minutes, and this should all be nicely done. Now we're into the last couple of minutes or so for, you know, finishing this lovely English breakfast. Now what I'm going to do is cook me fried eggs. Now I've got a smallish pan there, and I've got a reasonable amount of oil in there because I like to splash the oil over the top of the egg to sort of cook it on top. Now there's different ways of cracking your egg. I'm just going to use a knife, give it a hard chop like that, and then just let it go in. You can knock it on the side of the pan, but this pan is really quite small and I don't want to sort of tip the hot oil over. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of salt onto the egg now. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt because it then goes inside the egg and it tastes really yummy inside out. Now with the egg, it doesn't take very long, and I usually just splash some of the oil over the top of it, and eventually it will start building up a little crust, and we don't have to bother turning the egg, so there's no chance of breaking it. And that's the easiest way of doing it, I think, really. So just keep splatting it with oil. Now obviously it's up to you how you like your egg done. You might like it really runny or sort of medium or well done, but I'm just going to, once I've got the coating on there, sort of skin that builds up on the outside, the white one, it's ready to go. So I think we'll serve that up. Now we're taking the black pudding, tomatoes and mushrooms out the pan. Any of those juices, you can now put some bread in there. Just put it on a sort of medium to highish heat. Soak up those juices, flip them over, and you'll have lovely fried bread. So I think we'll serve that up. First thing I'm going to serve up is the egg. Now I'm just going to put very gently on a bit of tissue there, just to try and soak up a little bit of that oil. And then we just shake it onto the plate there. And what you can do is just wipe around the plate there, and again, you can always give it a little light dab, like that. Next to go on, I've got a piece of that black pudding. Got one of those tomatoes. Just going to pop some of those mushrooms. I've got a couple of sausages. Bit of bacon. 2 bits. It was 1 bit, but it's now 2. And then we've got a little bit of fried bread. I've just got a little corner there, and I'm going to put some baked beans there. So I'm just going to put the baked beans in the corner. Try and get it all on. I think that'll do. Look at that, the full Monty, full English breakfast, really nice and simple. And you know, obviously if you want toast with it instead of the fried bread, have a nice cup of tea or coffee if you prefer, a little bit of orange juice, absolutely delicious. Thanks for watching and enjoy.